Hello there. Welcome, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign to November 2025. There's a glorious water trine lighting up your sky, bringing you some good fortune, some good stuff in love, romance, creativity, as well as health, as well as long distance travel. It's just a smorgasbord of flowing energy. We're going to talk about this month, week by week, in the next 25 to 30 minutes together. So settle in and let's get ready for November's timing stories. Now, if you're new here and you want to time more than just your month ahead using astrology as a navigational tool, you might consider buying my 2026 fundraising video. It's 2 to 2.5 hours long. It has a PDF guidebook with it. You can buy the bundle in my pre-sale price, not individual signs, only the bundle. And the bundle price is $44. It will be $66 after December 1st. What are you getting? You're getting a deep navigational guidance tool to take you month by month and big picture through 2026 with my guidance for your sign. And I also am not delivering that till December 1st because I'm making the product now. You're buying it as I'm making it, and then you get a price that nobody else gets. All right, so let's get talking about the sky, Scorpio. I'm pretty cool, jazzed, excited for you, water signs, Pisces, Scorpio and Cancer, because you're having this incredible water trine last month, but more importantly, this month as well. And this is something we're going to pay attention to for all of you water signs with extra special delight. It tends to be a positive vibration in the sky, water trine. So we'll see how you feel about it. And here we go. So this is your sky. This is a Scorpio sky. If you're listening for your ascendant, you're listening to your character in the simulation. That's like your avatar in the game of life. If you're listening instead for your sun, it's your true core essential nature, your game player, and you might consider that to be career and related to career and purpose matters. And finally, you might listen for your moon sign. It's to how you feel about your life, think about your life, but it's also connected to matters of home. Try all three, see what resonates the best. All right, so let's start about the story of you as we approach November the 1st. The first thing you might notice as the month begins is that, of course, the sun is in your sign. We are in Scorpio season. So for a month every year, around this time of year, you get this energetic third week of October to third week of November, a big bright light right on you, like a spotlight. I have to just say, sometimes you like that, sometimes you don't. It's kind of sometimes can fry you, burn you out, and feel like you're under the beams of the sun. But on the other hand, it's the light of the divine intelligence coming back home to you to remind you of who you really are. So sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't. And as the month begins, we have Mars here. Mars is your lord of your sign, and he's in dignity, and you're enjoying him in your sign because probably you're more decisive and you're more proactive and you're more aggressive when you need to be, and you're more determined and you're more motivated. And with Mars here, that's a story you've been experiencing already, September 22nd, and finishing up around the 4th of the month. So you just have a few more days of that as the month of November begins. And when you make decisions and take actions, you're on your A game. You really are on your A game. Although some of you might have gotten fevers, rashes, and stuff. My son, Scorpio rising, got sick with like the latest grunge going around during this time. And so that's classic Mars in the first house, even if it's your number one planet. And when we move into the beginning of the month, you're going to notice that you'll see Jupiter and beautiful Jupiter here in your ninth house, a very lucky, prosperous house as well. Ninth house energy is very dharmic, and he's flowing backwards to Saturn, or Saturn's flowing to him. Energetically speaking, it just simply says there's something going on here where you are being creative, artistic, where you apply yourself in love and entrepreneurship and romance. When you apply yourself to fertility, like trying to get pregnant or your own children, there is a steadfast, determined, paced way that rewards come, and the rewards are coming in the ninth house. It's really great for those of you who are artistic and creative, having some lucky breaks in your art, getting some international exposure, book publishing deals maybe. It's also really good for your children, collaterally having determination and hard work leading to their own rewards being measured out here as well. This isn't too shabby with the moon in the beginning of the month for conceiving a child. If that's up your alley, you or your partner may conceive during this first week of November. Then you're going to notice that Venus is squaring Jupiter. Now, Venus and Jupiter in a square is two benefics in good shape and good dignity, but it still is a tension angle. And it's also opposite Chiron, Venus. So there's a T square, which is intense. But about the time of this T square, let's say you're feeling it all the way from November 1st to maybe the 4th, there's something about you having to deal up some kind of pleasure that may not be good for your health, and maybe to let it go because you've come into a place of knowledge and wisdom. Maybe you've gotten the AA program going. Maybe just say it's time for the end of that self-undoing pleasure, the vape, whatever. I want to improve my health. This could also open up an opportunity for something in a distant shore and far off land that is a professional or work opportunity. And you might be looking at having to travel for that opportunity, or even having the chance to just say yes. Maybe it's work with a distant foreign company. If you're struggling with lawsuits and legal matters connected to lawsuits, this looks like a pivotal turning point, and it looks like it works in your favor. Now, on November the 4th to the 6th, there is Mars leaving your sign. So you've enjoyed him here since, September 22nd, and he's going to boot out of here into your second house. Now, Mars in the second house in fire is fine. You might be very self-starter, very determined. He's going to be hanging in Sag for a very long time, until December 15th. But it's also sometimes we spend more money than we normally do. Think of it as investing if you like, but you might be at a time of increased spending. And it's not a bad transit for dental work or any facial surgeries or any facial work or dental work to be done as well. Mars is good at that in this placement. But here he is. He's moved into your second house, and this is occurring, as I said, on November the 4th. And the first thing he does is get into this opposition to Uranus. Now, if you go back to about the 29th and 30th of October, Mercury was in the opposition. So you had some unexpected, surprising news to do with money. It could be inheritances from father figures. It could be a tax thing. It could be a insurance payout. It could be money that you and your spouse are sharing. It could be an investment, but there was a surprise on the money axis, unexpected money stories likely occurring at that time, the 29th, 30th. And then now Mars is saying, let's take action and make decisions about this unexpected money surprise. And that's all that is. But your action plan is to be decisive, to go with what you need to do, to maybe whatever the information was that Mercury gave you, you're going to fight for some money. Like there's okay, that's not my credit card charge. I don't know, but there's something that wants to be taken action on. And that doesn't last very long. It's only from about November 4th to the 6th. Now, on November the 5th, a full moon will happen at 13 degrees of Taurus. A full moon in your seventh house, fulfilling something, completing something in the house of your audience, your marketplace, your business partners, your clients, and your significant long-term love person. And so they might be coming to some fulfillment or completion of something that they want to accomplish in their life, and that a seed that they planted a year ago. The moon is going to be full at 13 degrees around here. And you might also notice, because that Venus, the Lord of the lunation, is in your 12th house, there might be a fulfillment of some kind of foreign land, distant shore, commercial enterprise connected to long-term love or legal agreements happening or off this lunation. The moon itself on the 5th unfolds some of its story over 2 weeks and most of it over 6 months, but you have this fulfillment archetype. Now, technically speaking, a full moon exalted in your 7th house can be really good if you're in the industries where you want public appeal, like your music goes viral, or the way your clients love you up is intense, or your audience. So that's going to benefit you here as well. And it's not too shabby that there's a general sextile vibe coming off of Jupiter. So again, it really opens up some possibility of some success with the public in some area of your life in which that would be a concern or a matter of interest for you. And the moon is also in a flow to the North Node in your 5th house, which expands your artistic and creative endeavors, but it also can be a pregnancy signature for you or your significant other in this kind of sky. All righty, next we're going to talk about week 2, the 7th to the 14th of the month. And let's move ourselves forward in time. And as we open up to the 17th, you'll see that 7th, that Venus is now in Scorpio, your sign. In this case, you're going to get a nice run here of October 14th to November the 7th to December 1st of being charming, persuasive, charismatic, and attractive. Okay, good time for a haircut, a new facial rejuvenation. Not really, but more like, makeup, hair, feeling good, being persuasive, having a glamour. This is a fertility transit. So especially with Jupiter in the 9th house, if maybe making a baby is up your alleyway, you could be very fertile with you and your significant other. What was the dates, like November the 6th to the December 1st timeframe, 7th to December 1st. When we open up this part of the sky, we first of all want to do say that Venus will square Pluto, and there could be a deep revelation about a family of origin secret. There could be some information coming from your mother or father, or discoveries about something hidden about your family of origin, your ancestors coming to light. Pluto is also the home in the house, the property you live in, and there may be something also being revealed about that. Pluto happens to be also in a beautiful relationship to Shock and Uranus, and there may be an unexpected financial opportunity that's very positive. However, this can also speak to inheritance monies and the potential for some fortune or good fortune, but coming through legacy wealth and inheritance from somewhere up your family line, probably an elder based on Saturn. Now, sometimes it's a love of power and the power of love, and there may be some conflict in your domestic life and a struggle around what you desire and want and what somebody else desires and wants, right? Someone you're living with. And this is a short-lived power struggle. It will only last November the 7th to the 9th. On November the 7th, we're going to see Uranus moving into Taurus after being, since July, investigating your Gemini sky. So when Uranus around the 7th, 8th, time zone dependent, moves into Taurus, it's a finishing up of a long story about long-term committed love, marriage, audience, clients, and marketplace. You started this story in 2018 May. It's finishing up here by the end of April next year. This is the last grand finale. I have a video already out about this. Please go watch it. Grand finale of the erratic, unexpected, and jerky staccato energy in romantic love. You guys might have tried polyamory, marriage sabbaticals. You were on, you were off, whatever. You've had a lot of excitement, but maybe a lot of erratic elements going on in the life of your partnership or your partner in his or her life. That's coming to a grand finale, a grand closure. So there's something that wants to finish here. And technically speaking, I can't tell you what's going to finish here, but I do like the sextile to Jupiter saying it's more or less going to feel pretty darn positive. When we go over here, and it's months long, when we move forward a little bit more, Jupiter will head retrograde. Jupiter will retrograde on the 12th of the month. He will be retrograding backwards in the sign of Cancer, 25 to 15 degrees. Those are his degree range. Retrogradation from November 11th, 12th through to March 11th. This is really going to impact you, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising, with roughly, 15 to 25 degree placements, right? Because you're going to be pulled backwards and forwards as things move in different directions over time. And he's going back over ground he's been traveling already since late June. Ultimately, when Jupiter goes retrograde in your 9th house, he's like justice, truth, and wisdom in a justice, truth, and wisdom house. It's going to pull you into a dharmic quest. You're going to want to lean into deep purpose and the meaning of your life. And it's not about the outer perks anymore. It's about the inward journey to truth and wisdom within, dispelling your own inner darkness and finding your true calling or aligning more with it. And if you want to travel abroad to a distant shore of foreign land internationally, Jupiter retrograde can take you to places you've been before. And spiritual teachers and guides, mentors, and therapists from your past may come back to you, even coaches, to be working with you again. He's retrograde and he brings those people back from the past. Legal and court matters that hadn't been unresolved are going inward deeper, maybe pausing at this time for resolution. And those are some themes I've got. For a joke, my son has tried to get his citizenship certificate from Canada. It's now a year later and they haven't done it. It's like, and this would be like that technical visa stuff he's trying to get all organized from the past, maybe pulling back and something finally happening a year later. Holy man. All right. So now he's stuck in Canada because he can't get his citizenship certificate, because they won't renew it. It's a paperwork bureaucratic nightmare. All right, now we're moving into the next story on November the 11th to the 13th, as Mercury will have a head-on collision with Mars. Mercury is always about news and information. Mars is retrograding, and Mercury's retrograding into him. Let's talk about that just for a second. As we began the month, Mercury was around 3 degrees of Sag. He'd already gotten into this part of the chart. In fact, he was like ready and able to go. I'm going to kick up some good commercial success, buying and selling, speaking, offers for jobs, deals and negotiations. And all of a sudden he says, oh, goodness gracious, November 10th at 6 degrees, I've got a retrograde back. I forgot my luggage in the trunk or something. So going back to finish some money stuff for you. He is not sure which direction he wants to go yet. So he has to retrograde. And by the way, some of you could go back to school and study something that you haven't finished, or you want to complete a study of some endeavor. That's Jupiter retrograde. But even that, Mercury is also information and study, and he's retrograde in Jupiter's sign. So you might go back and have to restudy something that you've studied before, but he is going to retrograde. Keep that in mind. And as he's retrograding and he leaves your Sagittarius sky because of retrogradation around November 19th. So the beginning of the month through the 19th, you've got a lot of Mercury second house. But as he bumps into Mars, there's literally information or news to do with money, resources, could open up things to do with job and career, and action and decisions you need to take. That's simply what that is. You'll notice as Mercury's crashing into Mars here, backwards, there also we see a moon in Leo, even more so focusing in a way on your career space. What is it about your career space that you need to take action on based on new information that's coming to you? Work and career and reputation are very active as well. Now let's go into the second week of the month. I'm going to stop the share for a brief second while I grab a bit of chocolate because I'm having a hunger attack. And back to the share. So the third week of the month of November for you Scorpios is interesting because we start off with the sun in your sign, and we like that, right? That's your sun if you're listening for your sun sign. But otherwise, we got a sun in the sign of Scorpio, and it is trining Jupiter. And that's golden opportunity. Now it's a golden travel opportunity to distant shores, a golden legal outcome opportunity, a golden higher educational opportunity, a golden book publishing deal opportunity, a golden international opportunity, golden opportunity. And because of Venus, it could also be a golden love opportunity. You might be meeting somebody, you might be falling in love, but we want to get the international theme in there, or the educational theme, or the spiritual community for where this person may come from. And Jupiter retrograde means you might have known them in the past, but you never really hooked up. And now you get this vibe that this is a thing, especially with Jupiter, Venus, Sun all trining the house of true love. So for single Scorpios, you got me meeting somebody under this transit. So this is going to be about the 15th to the 17th that the sun activates it, but hang in there because Venus is coming up next. On November the 17th, and by the way, this is beautiful energy because we also see it trining Saturn and this North Node of Fate. So definitely seeing the possibility for a huge soulmate love relationship for single Scorpios. If you're already with someone, then it's just going to deepen the affection and the intimacy and maybe the romance. Now, on November the 17th, we're going to see another story emerging. It's going to be Mercury sextiling Pluto. Now, Pluto is at 1 degree of the sign of Aquarius in your fourth house, transforming the root of your chart in the next 18 years. This is also good for legacy wealth in the next 18 years coming your way, bequeathment monies. But if you go backwards and you want to see what backwards forwards, we're going to see what Mercury retrograde does. He bumps into a 1 degree placement, and all of a sudden he's having a really nice conversation with Pluto. Really good for excavating family of origin secrets, finding treasure in the family of origin, information or news about money connected to property, land, and real estate, maybe even refinancing of mortgages or financial developments connected to land, property, and real estate that benefit you greatly. And so there's information, news, power, increase. It's also always good with Mercury Pluto for seeing something or knowing something financial that you needed to know that was hidden from view, cloaked from view, and clarity is emerging here on November the 17th. So a day or two before is good as well. On November the 19th, we have not only a new moon in the sign of Virgo of Scorpio, but we also have Mercury trine Neptune at the very same time. Let's move ahead and take a look at that. This is going to be a new beginning and a fresh start that happens once a year in your sign, roughly this time of year. And so you are having new Scorpio sun, new beginnings in career purpose, Scorpio moon, home and nest, and Scorpio rising sign, any part of your life can start fresh. It's like this is a steering wheel of your life, and there's a new beginning. And with Venus here, the new beginnings can be fertility, having a baby, getting you or your partner having a conception and pregnancy. It could also new beginnings in romantic love, new beginnings in artistic and creative expression. With Venus in a trine to the Jupiter and fifth, new beginnings with new grandchildren coming into your life, new beginnings with international travel coming your way as well. So all of those are true, and it's a fresh start and a new beginning. And it can take up to 6 months for you to see the fullness of it. So don't expect everything to look like it's happening on the 19th at all. But there is an element of germinating in the 2 weeks that follow the new moon, elements that will play out, right? Like, I don't know, 2 weeks after the new moon, you and your partner go on a romantic getaway and have a lot of sex, and you do want to have a baby. And then within 6 months, you are pregnant, that kind of thing. Also, another element here is Mercury. Mercury's with the new moon and witnessing it. He's retrograde, and he's also in a flow to Neptune. Now, if you're looking for a relationship, then this could be the beginning of that kind of, I've met my divine complement, my soulmate, my true love, or there's some really positive developments that are going to emerge for one of your children that represent for that child a dream come true. And so you're going to see that maybe in the life of a child, or in your own romantic life, or in your own wistful desires to be creative and artistic and experience success as a creative or artistic person, especially when it comes to financial gain. So that's a story that you might experience as well. And don't worry, the new moon takes time to unfold, but it is being blessed by Jupiter. So it's one of the best new moons, especially for Scorpios, of 2025. Mercury will Cazimi the sun on the 20th. Come to my free Mercury Cazimi webinar. Information in the description box. Learn how to handle and use this powerful retrograde Mercury. He's synchronistic, he's magical, and he's talking to headquarters on the 20th. This is indicating you could have some new insight, understanding, download, clarity about something connected to love, romance, children, creativity, your long-term committed love relationship as well. Now, that can be disclosures as well. And that could be like you discover something about your partner, about their life, about fertility, about pregnancy. If you are looking for love, this could be that one moment where you get the date offer, like I want to take you out to dinner, or someone on your dating app gets back to you and you're setting it up, and this information is coming in. But it's also information that's important because it's kind of like a divine download, a headquarters moment. HQ is talking to you, okay? And it does trine the north node of increase in the house of good fortune. So it is good fortune and stabilizing, lasting good news is coming to you, or information is coming to you on the November 20th Cazimi. Now, the last week of the month is one long triangle. It's a big story, but it's one long story. And you're going to see even on the 20th, because we're going 21st to the end of the month now, you're going to notice this is playing out. This triangle is called a grand water trine. And as we move forward, you're going to notice that it is continually stabilizing. So first things first, the sun is operating, the 19th, the 21st is really working the kite, working it with Neptune. And these are golden, beautiful, flowing, lucky opportunities. This is wonderful up here and even down here for perhaps a financial win coming from something like a lottery ticket. I have to say you're one of those signs, but you could also know your limit, play within it. But I'd say like the 20th, 19th, 20th of the month to the end of the month is very fortunate for unexpected financial gain or lucky gains in ways that you don't have to earn the money. And yes, unfortunately, that does include inheritances. Okay. That's just a part of it. Mercury is the lord of your spousal separation, divorce, money, and inheritance stuff. And so that could play out that you're going to come into that kind of money too. And as you watch the triangle keep going, you're going to notice that Mercury grabs a hold of it from his retrograde. Now it's information news about all those lucky themes that I outlined, including fertility and pregnancy. Then he crashes headlong into Venus. Important information coming through the sky about the following themes: foreign travel, distant shores and lands, your partner in marriage and love or significant other, and potentially creativity, audience, marketplace, fertility, and pregnancy. These are all repeating themes. You'd be pregnant with a business idea, pregnant with a book, pregnant with a real baby. This is also just as likely to produce grandchildren announcements like, oh my God, I'm going to be a grandparent. One of your children lets you know. So that's that vibe around this time. This is now November 24th. As we move forward, track with me here, guys. Venus is going to take up the kite herself. She's going to hold the kite. And of course, she is going to do her best to bring only good things. If she can do it, she will. It could be really wonderful for your significant other having some very positive, lucky breaks in their own life. All right. It can also open up a very beautiful energy for you regarding art and creativity and entrepreneurial stuff. Like the muse is just flowing and you just like downloaded the most amazing creative, artistic, or entrepreneurial idea, and you are ready to go for it. You know, this is my thing. I'm ready. And at the very end of the month, Venus gives us a surprise. As around the 28th of the month's end, she's going to be opposite Uranus. And that's like your partner in significant love relationships, or your business partner, or someone from your audience and marketplace surprises you. But if you're a creative, artistic, or entrepreneurial person and you're using digital media, this could also be something going viral. And whatever the surprise is, it flows to Neptune, Saturn, North Node, and the moon in Pisces. So again, surprise pregnancy or sudden excitement about and development of your partner in love's life, like their life has surprising excitement and unexpected positive developments. And also perhaps something very positive happening for one of your children. In this case, it can be more aligned with the firstborn or secondborn, oh my God, or thirdborn child. So any of your children could have an exciting development. That includes one of your children announcing they're having a child. So there's excitement there too. I hope that's useful. I'm going to draw a card for you like I did for every sign except two. Sorry for you guys who didn't get a card draw. There's two signs I screwed up on. I think it could have been Gemini and Cancer. Sorry. We're going to draw a card from Kim Cran's Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Kim Cran's Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. And we'll see what we get. This is kind of giving you a short and quick and simple way of navigating the month. You have the Tarantula. Wow, the Tarantula. Let's take a look at that. It's a very fortunate month, Scorpio, so do not fret about Tarantula energy, but I think this is probably a pretty cool card. Where are you? If you wonder why it takes me so long, because Kim Kranz does not alphabetize this thing. I would have guessed there we are. All right, so you are at a crossroads in November. You are claiming life's purpose. You know that big water triangle is in your Dharma houses 1, 5, and 9. The meaning of those houses is purpose, claiming your purpose. I started with that in the beginning. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm going to tell you that when you're in balance in November, you follow your intuition. And when you're out of balance, that's the water trine. It's intuitive. It's knowingness. And when you're out of balance, you hesitate and you over intellectualize. Do not be in your head. Flow, go with the flow, follow the synchronicities. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. And to bring yourself into balance, you need to do some daily journaling. Well, the 5th house is all the creative stuff and the artistic stuff. So why not take notes? I'd add to that a attitude of gratitude. And I don't mean fake gratitude. Like at the end of the day, I'm so grateful that my flood only flooded half my house. No, authentic gratitude. It really comes from not a mental idea, but just being grateful, like in the moment for the breath that you just took. Being grateful is a state of being. It's not actually a mental exercise, but I'd add that to the water trine for you as well. Have a great month ahead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join me on the free webinar, description box below. Maybe for $44, buy the 2025 All Signs bundle, share with friends and family. You can listen for Sun, Moon, and Rising, plus gift it to all people in stocking stuffer mode. It'll come as a PDF download with links to the private videos and the PDF itself, that you're getting with it. And so it's a great way to share the love at Christmas with friends and family by buying the bundle and giving it away, as well as benefiting for your own Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm not giving a sale for the individual signs at this point, just the all signs bundle to save work for me. Bye, guys.